Hello everyone, welcome to my music theory lesson. This is lesson 12.3, Inharmonic Modulation. In today's lesson, we are going to learn how to write a chord progression that modulates using an inharmonic modulation. An inharmonic modulation is similar to a pivot chord modulation, except that the pivot chord has to be respelled to belong in the new key. There are two chords that can be respelled to belong in another key. The 5/7 can be respelled to become a German or Italian augmented sixth chord. This can be used only to modulate to the key with the tonic a half step lower than the tonic of the original key. For example, this method can be used to modulate from B major to B flat major. The other method is to respell the 7 diminished 7 chord so that it becomes an inversion of the 7 diminished 7 chord in another key. This only works for minor keys and can be used to modulate up or down a tritone or minor third. In the following two slides, I am going to show you in detail how to use these two methods. The process of writing an inharmonic modulation using the 5/7 respelled as an augmented sixth chord starts with moving to the 5/7 chord in the old key. Then write the augmented sixth chord in the new key. To respell as an Italian augmented sixth chord, you need to leave out the fifth in the 5/7 chord. The last step is to resolve the augmented sixth chord, usually going to 5 then to 1. After that, establish the new key. In the example shown, the 5/7 chord in B major, F sharp, C sharp, A sharp, E is respelled as G flat, D flat, B flat, E, the German augmented sixth chord in B flat major. When writing an inharmonic modulation using the 7 diminished 7 chord, first move to the 7 diminished 7 chord in the old key. Next, respell the chord as an inversion of the 7 diminished 7 chord in the new key. Resolve the inverted 7 diminished 7 chord to 1 and continue with the establishment of the new key. In the example shown, the 7 diminished 7 chord in A minor, G sharp, B, D, F is respelled as G sharp, B, D, E sharp, the 7 diminished 6/5 chord in F sharp minor. Practice is the best way to learn how to write inharmonic modulations. Let's try it on the next slide. Write an inharmonic modulation from B flat minor to G minor. Sample answer shown. The tonics of the two keys are a minor third apart, and they are minor keys, so we have to use a 7 diminished 7 chord. The inharmonic modulation goes from the third beat of the second measure to the second beat of the third measure. It respells the 7 diminished 7 chord in B flat minor, A, G flat, C, E flat, as the 7 diminished 6/5 chord in G minor, A, F sharp, C, E flat. The 7 diminished 6/5 chord in G minor resolves to 1/6 and moves on to the establishment of the new key. Write an inharmonic modulation from B flat major to A major. Sample answer shown. The tonics are a half step apart, so we need to use a 5/7 chord respelled as an augmented sixth chord. The inharmonic modulation starts in the second measure and lasts until the third beat of the third measure. The progression moves through 6/6, 4, and 2 to the 5/7 chord in B flat major. The chord FFAE flat, which has a missing fifth, is respelled as FFAD sharp, the Italian augmented sixth chord in A major. It then resolves to 5, and the 5 resolves to 1/6. Conclusion. In this lesson, we learned that an inharmonic modulation is a pivot chord modulation using a respelled pivot chord. The chords that can be respelled are 5/7 becoming an augmented sixth chord, and 7 diminished 7 becoming an inversion of a 7 diminished 7 in a different key. For more practice, please download my music theory app. In the next lesson, we are going to talk about direct modulations. See you next time!